Today we are in Branson, Missouri, and I'm going to be showing you guys one of the world's biggest Fast and Furious car collections that has been hidden for years. Right here we've got the actual Monte Carlo from the movie. We're going to show you the John Cena Foxbody Mustangs, the Corvette Grand Sport. We're going to show you the Heist Chargers, the El Camino, and tons more Fast and Furious cars that have been hidden in this collection, sort of neglected, you could say abandoned, for years. Let's go. So right here is the owner of this collection.
Hi, I'm Scott Velvet with Celebrity Car Museum. We have here some of the cars that are not on display currently in the museum. They're out in the warehouse, and so I'd like to share a few of those with you.
Yeah.
These are vehicles from various Fast and Furious movies. Okay. First over here, this right here is Vin Diesel's Hero Cuba car. This is the Cuba Chevy. This is the car that he took all of the sheet metal off the front and all the doors off to make it lighter so that he could race in the Cuban Mile. This one here has all of the Cuban stickers, the glass is intact, which shows that it was early on, when he first started racing, because as he was racing through the streets, the cars got more and more damaged till at the very end they were crashed. But there was one point where he kicks the windows out, everything's on fire. This is one of the cars that was used before that, early in the scenes, so it's probably the most pristine one, best condition one. What's funny about it is that you have this 1949 Chevy Fleetline, and then they've put it on a modern chassis. It has modern tubular A-arms, it's got disc brakes, it's got aluminum radiator and aluminum wheels. But what's funny is they've painted them to look rusty because down in Cuba, they haven't been able to import anything, so everything is literally what was left on the island when when Castro took over.
Wow.
So it's very, very, it's got a high performance small block Chevy in it, and it's just such a fun car to drive. And when I purchased this car, they were actually out practicing drifting in the parking lot when I got it. It's just a fun car, and so it's a shame it's not in the museum. We've displayed it for several years, and now it's sitting here. But eventually, it'll be back in the museum. We love this car.
Yeah, it's really iconic.
Absolutely, and Jada made models of it, and it's just like, and I want to say there's only maybe 2 examples of this in the world that are left over. The rest of them were destroyed. The other examples are really cool also, but they would be later on, more distressed, more dense, less glass, less things. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
kind of that.
Right here you got the Monte Carlo.
This Monte Carlo has a really cool story because they made 12 or 14 of these for they made a lot. This I believe this car they probably made some of the most of during the Fast and Furious series, and this was from of course Tokyo Drift, and it was one of Dennis's favorite cars, and so they put a lot into it. But there were jump versions and slide versions and crash versions. They were just all different. There were versions that went through houses, and there was a Hero car. This is the Hero interior shot car. So it has all the studio markings, and it has the Hero interior with the Hero dash and everything. The interesting thing about this car, it was almost lost to history. Somebody saw this car on the Universal backlot tour. It was in the War of the Worlds scene as just one of the wrecked cars that was there, and someone's like, is that one of the Tokyo Drift cars? And then they contacted Dennis, and he was able to save the car, and then eventually years later we were able to get it.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, this is one of my favorite cars, I'd say, and a lot of people's from Fast and Furious.
It's really interesting because every one of these cars is totally different yet somehow the same. You know what I mean? They tried to cookie cutter them, but some of them, like if they had previous damage to the roof, then they painted the roof silver. But like in this particular one, it has the it was sanded down to this bare metal and then cleared.
Wow.
So some of them they painted them silver, and some of them they just cleared because they had nice roofs on them.
And then this Charger right next to it right here. What's up with this one?
This right here is a beautiful car. It's one of the nicer ones. It's a 1967 Dodge Charger, and it was used in like a montage scene in Fast and Furious 9. And what it was is when Dom was a kid and he raced his brother, Jacob, and Jacob was driving like a 91, 92 Foxbody Mustang, and he was racing against this. And it was just such a cool car. And this one here, it's got the pistol grip in it, and it's got the 3 pedals, but it's an automatic. You know, and so I think they made it to look like he was shifting, but it's an automatic car. And I think it's got a 383 in it.
Wow.
So.
And you've got more cars, right, that we're going to go see?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's go check them out.
Definitely. Let's go.
So now we're outside around the back of the warehouse, and you've got some more Fast and Furious cars.
We've always got some Fast and Furious cars. Over here we've got 267 El Caminos. They're very highly modified. These were John Cena's in Fast 10. They're all various builds. The ones that have the holes in the roof had cage around the hole outside. The ones that don't have the holes in the roof were used for the shots where like interior shots where they're getting in and out. You know, okay. that way the actor didn't have to crawl through the roof. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because once they put the cage on, you can't open the doors.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But these things are so highly modified. They've got 4-link suspension. They've got the Weld drag wheels. They've got the Willwood disc brakes all the way around. As you can see inside, you know, it's got the Sidewinder shifter. It's got the drift brake.
Mm-hmm. And you got 2 of them.
Well, actually, there's another one out the back that we still haven't messed with, and then we have one that's restored inside.
Wow. How do you get so many of the same car?
Well, we like to buy to where, you know, if we need parts or anything like that, they're readily available to us. Also, I don't want everybody in the, you know, Fast and Furious world or the museum world to have the same cars that we have. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times, if I can buy up all of them, I use them for parts, and then this one here is fully restored. Now, in the movie, they all had the cage around them. But since the movie came out, Jada came out with the model with just the car. And I like just the car. So I had this one done, had the cage components taken off of it, and they're all in the other warehouse. Mm-hmm. But because I just kind of like it as a driver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's still a screen used car, you know, but it's just a good driver. You can jump in it and just go anywhere. And so this is the one that we restored.
Wow, it's beautiful. And then right next to it, you got the Mustang from Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, there's the Tokyo Drift Mustang. They built several of those for Tokyo Drift, and most people, the most asked question is always, does it have the RB26? And this one does not. This is one of the 4-speed big block cars, and they said it had a 430 in it. And so these were the ones that actually did the drifting up the mountain when they were racing Drift King and stuff like that.
Wow.
But yeah, this is a beautiful car. I love the wheels. I love everything about this car. And it's been in the museum before, and it'll be in the museum again.
And then back there, you got the Bentley, I see.
Got Tyrese's Bentley. That's the stunt Bentley from Fast 8, from the New York City scenes, which I think they filmed them in Columbus, Ohio, or Cleveland, or something. But and then we've got Letty's. This is actually kind of an interesting car. This is an LS powered Letty Nova from Fast 9, and it's actually got a 6-speed manual in it.
Wow.
Which, I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So they decided to go all modern drivetrain with this one.
Yeah,
So.
and then, is this from Fast and Furious?
No, this is Bobby's Hero Chevelle from Supernatural.
Now, before we actually go on with the rest of the collection, when we finished filming, he took me to another warehouse and just opened the door to surprise me with this. I'll let him tell the story of what it is.
This is the one from Fast and Furious 6. It was actually first appeared in Tokyo Drift at the very end. It was, you know, the Hammer. It was a very famous car that Vin Diesel just drove, and then they decided to make replicas of that car for Fast 4. And this is one of the leftover cars from Fast 4. It was Letty's death car. This is the car that she crashed on the curvy roads. And then, you know, Dom's all sad for Fast 5. And then in Fast 6, they bring her back and they recreate the crash scene. And when they did, they brought this car, which was leftover pristine from, it was one of the stunt cars from Fast 4, and they brought it back and they shipped it over to England for the scene. They pulled the engine and transmission out, they flipped it over with a forklift and a crane, then they just beat the crap out of it with hammers and whatever. So all of this damage is superficial. And so the funny thing is when the guy brought it back from England from filming, he wound up buying it from the production company. He just bought it because he wanted the drivetrain out of it and drove it. And he was like, this thing drives straight. And then again, it's not been wrecked. It's literally a really nice Roadrunner. It's a 383 4-speed car.
That's a cool little sidecar. Now let's get back to the main video and see the rest of the Fast and Furious collection. Down here, I see you've got the Corvette Grand Sport. This is incredible. So what's the story on this car?
This is actually the screen-used car that they fired out of the train. It was called a cannon car. It had a hole in the back, and they literally had it in a train boxcar, and they fired it out the side with 2 dummies in it.
Wow.
Or no, it had 1 dummy in it. I think it was Vin Diesel maybe that jumped it out.
Wow. So is this a real Corvette or is this a fiberglass?
No, it
replica?
was made. It's a fiberglass replica made by Mongoose,
okay.
and they actually build these as like a turnkey deal. And the frame's actually bigger than the Chevy frames in the originals. Like it's like
wow.
They're like tubes like that. It's incredible. I think this one has a 350 in it now, and it was on display down in a museum in Gatlinburg for a long time, and we got it from them, but we'd already had one on display. We had the Volkswagen powered one that went across the desert, and so we just kind of brought this to the warehouse because we thought people would think it was the same car, and it's not.
Mm-hmm. And then this is not Fast and Furious, but what's this from?
This is actually from the Charlie's Angels movie where they're doing the Indy cars. And this was one that they bolted down to the bridge because the 2 cars hit each other and one jumps over the other one. And this was the girl's car that was bolted to the bridge. And so after the movie, there's a gentleman that decided to, you know, build it back. And so this is it. It really needs to be like hung on a wall or something. Yeah. I think it would be really cool.
Yeah. Or driven. I would love to see that car on the road one day.
That would be sweet. That would be sweet.
And then right here, you got the Heist Chargers.
The Heist Chargers are amazing cars. These were the cars that you might notice in Fast 5. They're dragging around the safe, and you see the safe flipping behind them, and then it's got all of this structure back there, and these winches that do all of this stuff. But then in Fast 10, when they're introducing Jason Momoa's character, he was the son of the guy that they with the safes.
Oh wow!
You know, and so Jason Momoa is coming back, and so they're doing some montage scenes. And so what they did, and I want to say that they just took these cars and scanned them because they had to do it with Paul Walker. You know what I mean? So I think they were doing some kind of CGI or whatever it is that they do, and so the heist cars were actually seen in Fast 5 and Fast 10.
Wow!
So kind of cool there.
And then, you have any other Fast and Furious cars?
There is one more right over there, and I don't know if we can get to it from here, but we can try.
Well,
the Mustang over there with the hood up.
We'll have to go the
We
other
might
way.
have to go around.
Yeah. And you see you got this yellow Charger, or Challenger, sorry.
The Challenger is actually from the bucket list.
Oh.
Jack Nicholson drives it, and also it was used in NCIS.
Oh, wow,
it
yeah.
was Mark Harmon's car. Yeah, he got it from his dad in that show.
That's awesome. Well, let's go around and look at the Mustang.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you buy all of these cars for those that
You
don't
know, it's mainly just luck. I mean, there are people, a lot of people don't realize, but the movie companies aren't, every time they start a movie, there's a production company. And when they start, planning for the movie, they start an LLC, and they're like, that's the production company. And then when they're done with the movie, then they want to close that LLC down. And so they have to, get rid of the assets. And a lot of times that's where we do it. Sometimes we buy them at auctions. There'll be collectors, other collections. So this right here is John Cena's Hero Mustang Foxbody from Fast 10 or Fast X.
Wow.
And it's got the rack on the top, and in the movie there's a what looks like a canoe on the top, and I think it turns out to be like some kind of glider.
Yeah.
But that's a really cool piece.
That's awesome. I remember this from last time I came to visit you. Didn't you have a few of these?
We had, I think there were 3.5 left over. Both the other cars have gone. This one here we've obtained since then, actually.
Oh, wow.
And so this is a new car to us. And we have this car, and then we have the process buck out back, which is literally cut in half. And so we had 3.5 of them, and now we have 1.5.
Wow. That's crazy. And then you have another lot, right, that we're going to go see, where you have an old president's truck and some other vehicles.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for doing this interview. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And if you guys want to come and see not these cars, but the cars that are actually in the museum, which I will be doing a video on, it's here in Branson, Missouri. You come check it out, Celebrity Car Museum. But yeah, thanks for doing this.
Thanks for coming. We always love seeing you.
Yeah. You guys, remember, never ever quit on your dreams. Keep pushing. You can do it. I love you. See you in the next video. Remember, God loves you.
In the next video, I'm going to be going over their entire car collection that's actually on display in the museum in Branson, Missouri. We've got the Baby Driver Subaru, the original Bumblebee, the Terminator's Cadillac. We've got a bunch of Fast and Furious cars, including the Jetta that has no brakes, the Charger that they rolled in that scene with the train, this bike from The Walking Dead, and a ton more other cars from different movies. So make sure you guys subscribe to watch that video. See you next time.